What up, my people? I ended the video like, I don't know, 2 hours ago, and I uploaded it, and now we're starting a new one in the same day. Weird, right? And this showed up in the mail. We got a GoPro. It's a new 7 white, so we can get all those ink cars when the Mustang is finally running, like 3 days from now. Good luck. One thing I have to address before I put the whole front end back together, it's all painted and stuff now, is this wiring harness that crosses over. So I'm gonna take off all this big bulky stuff. I'm just gonna wrap up these wires in some split loom that I have, and then it should fit across much easier. And I can tuck away these plugs, because I think the only one I need is a headlight plug. I think the rest were like ABS stuff. And maybe cooling fans. And there's a ground here as well. And currently, I'm not really looking to de-pin this whole harness and take what I don't need out right now. We're just gonna get it to run, but it won't fit where it needs to go with this big bulky thing on it, so that's why we're doing it. It's all in the loom pretty much. A little bit trying to sneak through here. But it should just fit above the radiator here. Hoping. Okay, back to the task that I should be doing, and the one that I don't want to do the most, which is why I should probably do it now before I lose motivation to do it. We're gonna tackle the fuel pump stuff, get that to be ready to go in. Oh yeah, someone said to just bend this down. I didn't even think about that, so I just bent it down. That probably works. I got us some hose clamps though, just some cheap Canadian Tire jobbies, worm clamps. Put our last pump on. Also, I don't know if you guys watch Royce or Miata, but they were trying to put O-rings between the bottom of the hose and the top of the pump, and that's how they were sealing their pump in there. They weren't putting hose clamps on it to clamp like the hose to the thing. They were jamming it to the top and hoping O-rings sealed it. It was silly. It was silly.
So like the whole setup wouldn't really work, so we just stacked a bunch of O-rings, and there's no way that would ever leak. But
super weird. I don't have a dashboard plug to plug off this third nipple. So I was gonna put a piece of hose and a bolt in it and do it the redneck way. And then I found this little nipple looking penis thing. It literally looks like a penis. And I was like, look, it's capped on the end and it fits perfectly in this thing. Maybe it was made to go in there. Weird. That's what I'm gonna use anyways. I'm gonna use the penis looking thing. And since we don't have a second plug, like wiring harness for this one, we're just gonna cut this off. We're gonna use some male and female terminals here, and we're gonna put the connection right here and then put some wires up through the top. So goodbye you. I guess I could have kept it longer than that. Whatever. Whatever, man. Yeah, whatever, man. And now me with wiring, I like to go way too big with wiring. So this is 12 gauge wire going to the pump. This will go right to my relay board, but I had to drill the holes out a little bit because yeah, it's 12 gauge instead of whatever this is, which is probably like, actually it's probably the same. It's just the insulation on this 12 gauge wire is really big. Voila, everything's where it needs to be. Both pumps wired up, coming out through the top. Now what we have to do is we have to actually epoxy this hole shut. So I don't know if these wires are going to fold into this. Probably not, actually. Not with my big insulation wires. We're going to figure something out. These have to be epoxied shut anyways. And this is what I have for that. Some JB Weld instant epoxy stuff. Now I probably shouldn't get this on my fingers, considering it's like the strength is for. I should make intercooler piping out of this. You could probably JB Weld intercooler piping with this. It says 44,000 PSI. That's probably stronger than the aluminum you're welding it to. God damn. I better put on my bitch mittens, as someone called them yesterday. They keep my hands clean, okay? Okay? Gotta keep my meat beaters clean for meat beating. They even give you a little tiny popsicle stick, it seems. Just a little popsicle stick though. I've never seen a popsicle that small. And what is it? I probably shouldn't rip the directions off. I'll apply equal amounts onto a disposable surface. I think you can only apply even amounts. Yeah, alright, it smells funny. I'm guessing we stir it. Oh, this sets pretty fast. It's getting hard already!
That's what she said.
Put it on there, Kyle, put it in. I'm just clumping it all in there. Hopefully it settles down where it wants to be. Now we let that set. That was scary. I guess while it's setting, we could technically put it in the tank. I don't see why not. Just put the tank over here. Actually, we're just gonna let it set. We're gonna let it set because when I move it a little bit, the epoxy actually shifts with gravity, so weird that liquid moves with gravity. While that's doing its thing over there, we're gonna go ahead and take this fuel rail off and see, put our fuel injectors in and see how much spacer we need for them. So, shout out to Ralph Brothers again, but we have our 80-pound trick flow injectors. I don't know if that's the right way on the other side. Yep. So now what we need are some spacers to go from here to there to fill in the gap, because the rail's higher because these injectors are actually taller than the other ones. But they're in there, that's cool. So we need some spacers here and some longer bolts, because I don't think I have bolts that long. I don't have spacers, and I'm waiting for the epoxy to dry, so I'm still waiting. I'm gonna run this really heavy gauge wire all the way to the back for our fuel pumps. I'm gonna just fold it over and run 2 wires to the back, so each one has its own individual power wire. And it'll be right off the battery, nothing else, so we won't have fueling issues. If you run a small gauge wire to the back, you can either burn out the wire, or it just won't be strong enough to run the pump at its full capacity, and you can be lacking on fuel. So I always like to go huge on the wire. It doesn't hurt. A little bit of weight doesn't matter. I just hope this is long enough. I only got enough orange for one pump, so I gotta run some red wire alongside the orange wire because I have enough red wire for one pump also. Whee! Why do cars have to be like 14 feet long? At least we'll know which one is pump 1 and pump 2. Awkward. Awkward. So our epoxy's rock solid. Good for all the PSIs. Our wires are just kind of janky. So let's see if we can put this in here. Also, you guys said that this hanger only fits like an 03 to 04 Cobra tank, but we're just gonna have to make this work, I guess. It's in there. The pumps are definitely touching the bottom of the tank because the bottom of the tank is like bubbled out a little bit, but it'll be fine. So we can go ahead and attach our line here. I don't remember which way this goes. Does it go this way? Yeah, I believe this goes under here, which means our wires here are definitely not long enough, so we'll have to extend those. So these are going to be our sender wires, and then these ones are going to be just run up to our relay board that's in the back there. So I'll do that now. We got these wires on. I just capped these ones. I'm gonna put some loom over this after, and then here I'm just gonna run some weather pack connectors that I have laying around. I think I have enough, I hope. And yeah, that's how we're gonna join those up. I have the big terminal one, so I think, maybe I don't. No, I don't. These are small terminal ones. Okay, not running weather pack connectors. We have some of this wire that we stole from Ken's car. This is what we're going to run up through the chassis, so I'm actually going to split it down the center again. But this is what we're going to run to our pumps. So we're going to solder this up and I know this isn't the proper way to do it, but if I ever have to drop the tank again, I'm just gonna disconnect it from inside the car and run it back through the tank instead of putting connectors here, because I don't have connectors for this. I thought I had some weather pack connectors, but they were too small, so this is what it's getting. Now we're gonna throw some shitty ass split loom on there. Why do people call things shitty ass? Of course it's gonna be like, do you not wipe? Is that what it's all about? Not wiping? Got a dirty butt? Do you say it when you see like streak marks? I think so. It looks like poop, but so do we! We actually have this Dash 8 PTFE line. This was from the mock build, left over. So we're gonna see if we can utilize this as our main feed line to the front. We're gonna try and come up this side of the engine bay. And we gotta figure out where we're gonna put our fuel filter. So I'm gonna try and run this first and see how far we can get with this. I can't show you because I'm gonna be under the car. Man, is there anything worse than stabbing your fingers on like the sharp edges of a steel braided hose? Probably not. Probably not. So we got the fuel tank back in. My face is all covered in dirt and stuff, but the floor back there is like right by the door, and the heater's all the way over here, so it's like cold on my feet and my back, and look how dirty I got. It's just all around a bad time, man. Just gangster. This is how my hat just ended up too. It just did it by itself. We do have the return line ran already. This is my haggard ass spot where I wanted it to go. The fuel feed line's gonna come from here too, and the filter's just gonna be down below on the subframe. So I gotta build that line now. So running this line here is technically gonna be our fuel system done. Well, besides just, I have power wires ran to the back. I need to put fuses in these two lines right here. And then I just need a signal. I think I'm just gonna run one pump, because I was watching Sloppy Mechanics and he was talking about his 8x8 build. And he said that 2 pumps are definitely gonna overpower this little regulator thing. So 1 450 for now until we get some nice fuel rails, I guess. Okay, I have to admit something right now. It's February 14th and the car is not ready. I'm sorry. I kind of knew it wasn't going to be ready today because we don't have the converter or the ECU in the mail yet. So I kind of lost motivation and I switched my priorities over and I went and I helped Kent with his car. So that video will be up probably later than this one. So I was taking a quick break here. I was watching the Duck X race on the live stream. It's just testing day, but something weird happened. Something really weird happened. 2 months ago, someone contacted me. They were like, hey man, I got a converter for you. I'll send it out. I paid for shipping for it. So Andrew Hem, shout out to you, but he sent us a converter and then it got lost in the mail. So that was like 2 months ago. He went to the post office. They're like, yeah, we can't find it. Here's a refund on your shipping money. Sorry for your loss, whatever. And then, so I bought another converter and the post office came and they were like, gave me the slip. I went down, I was like, oh sick, my new converter's in. And then I went there and it's actually the one Andrew Hem sent me. We got this big 12-inch converter here. We don't know what stall speed or anything it is, but it was on his 5.3 with nitrous. Anyways, it says, oh yeah, it was covered in oil. The whole box was covered in oil and so was the letter. So here it is. This converter has been 138 to the 60 foot, which is actually faster than my Supra. 990s in my 5.3 Fox body. I have no idea what brand it is or stall speed. I hope it works good for you. Keep up the good videos. I enjoy watching. I can't remember what you were going to use for boost control, so I put a nice little Turbo Smart manual boost controller in the box. If you want to use it. Andrew Hem. I can't believe I have subscribers like you guys. It's kind of amazing. I'm going to get dressed. We'll head out to the garage, get some work done. And we'll be one step closer anyways, man. I don't know if I'm going to use this converter or not. It depends when the other one shows up with the ECU, so maybe we'll toss it in there just to see what it is. So I'm just using some P-clamps and some self-tapping screws, and I'm putting them up through the floor and in the subframe itself, and that's how I'm holding up my fuel line. So I'll spend a bit of time doing that and move on to the front of the car after that. That's all buttoned up again. I'm extra dirty again. Look at it, it's gross. This is my rail spacer. It's literally just a bunch of washers and then I put electric tape around it. And then now it won't fall apart. Keep it simple. We're gonna go ahead and solder some inline fuses, just cheap Canadian Tire ones, on our main feeds for our pumps. Actually, one side can actually get a big ring terminal because we'll put it right to here. Now, technically, if I put our battery in place, and look, our hose fits just barely. Good on my part. But technically, if we put this battery on, and I apply a signal to the pump in the back using our main speaker wire, we should have fuel pressure. And it doesn't sound like we have any leaks. You know what the other problem is? There's no fuel in the tank. That's probably why we don't have leaks. Let's try it again. I'm going to the back to connect our wire. Did we leak anywhere? Yep, underneath it's leaking. It's leaking at my fuel filter. I can't believe I tried that with no fuel in it. That was kind of really silly of me. It's still leaking past our fitting. The thing is that's a crimp-on fitting, like a PTFE one. And I'm not sure if a PTFE like assembly unit will fit on there. Like I have a -6 one, I just don't have a -8 one. It looks like this. So it looks like this, where it has like a compression fitting style ferrule in it, or whatever you want to call those. So we may have to get one of those in -8. All the unexpected things are kind of a piss off. So I'm gonna leave it there. We have a full fuel system done. We have to build an exhaust, but I think I was just gonna run it a 90 up through the hood for now and run no hood at all, just to get it going on the road. Another unexpected problem we ran into was the control arms don't like to fit in the K-member. I thought that was just gonna be a simple thing that I could just put the stock control arms back in the TMZ K-member, but they don't fit. I might have to do some grinding and working the bushings there. And it's an extra like $400 for a set of tubular A-arms, so I don't really want to do that, but if we have to when the time comes, that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna try and make those ones fit for sure. The Holly should be here tomorrow. It's in the mail today. And then another big thing is I don't really want to use that unknown converter. I want to use the one that I know is gonna work, and that's in the mail somewhere. Postal system in Canada is like, I don't know. I don't get it. Anyways, I'm sorry I disappointed you guys. This is February 14th. I said I was gonna have it running today. I don't know, maybe by the end of February. End of February. It's like not really, doesn't really matter anyways. It's minus 28 out today and there's still snow on the ground, so we can't really do anything other than just drive it on the road, and it's gonna have no traction anyways, one tire peeling and on studded tires, so there's that. Anyways, it's all coming together. You can see it. It looks more cleaner-ish than it was before. This hose gonna get tucked down there somewhere. Peace easy, guys. Get that V. It's Valentine's Day. Definitely get that V. Or if you're into butt stuff, do butt stuff too.